All right, Patrice Thompson,
Hey, what's up?
thank you for coming in. This is pretty exciting because you had your biggest month
I did.
of 60,000. What was it?
So I did 56 minute, but we can round up because I'm pretty sure I did it.
So 56K.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't know is that we went to high school together
We go all the way back.
and we have a similar last name. So Taylor Thompson. So for some reason, we always sat next to, well, because of the,
We definitely weren't line leaders. So
yeah. But we were always next to each other in class, which was always entertaining.
what's math class? You should just tell me about all your girlfriend problems and I just listened and then you copied my homework.
Did I do that?
Yes, that's how you probably passed this class.
It's funny. Somebody had, well, my yearbook is in the office, and somebody opened it up in the office, and every girl that wrote in my yearbook was blacked out with a black Sharpie. And I was like, I wonder who did that. And it must have been my girlfriend at the time.
That's
Went
funny.
through everyone who wrote in it completely black out with Sharpie.
That's messed up.
I thought you copied off my homework.
No, it was the other way around. You never did your homework. You always pick Patrice, let me see your homework. I'm like, all right.
That makes sense.
You said that makes sense, and now I'm here trying to copy you.
So we sat next to each other in a
Yeah.
bunch of classes for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Even back in junior high, because you went to Ranchero, right?
Yep.
So, yeah. But we didn't start, like, crossing paths till high school.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being my counselor.
You're welcome.
Now, you saw us when we first started selling insurance.
Yeah.
And what'd you think?
I was just, honestly, I thought y'all was drinking the Kool-Aid. Come to find out you were, and then we came to Family First Life afterwards. But, you know, I saw the opportunity, and you reached out to me. You're like, hey, Patrice, you want to make money just signing people up for insurance? I was like,
Well, your personality's so good. I mean,
Yeah.
is it hard for people to tell you no?
I think so, like, because I just make sure, like, because I know I am personable and people want to be your friend because it's easier to say no to your friend, but I'm like hardcore mama at the front of the, you know, I get ahead of it like, hey, you know, I get all the financial inventory and I'm like, all right, looking at your situation, you know, if you die tomorrow, what does that look like for your wife? Like, I make sure I shut it down really quick, like, I'm not your friend, I'm here to do business.
Is it crazy to you that, because you saw us when we first started,
Yeah.
that this week we sold 2,700,000 in annual premium
Yeah.
as a team
I think that's so nuts.
for the week, and it was 2,700 applications. So our small little team did 2,700.
I remember when the goal was
in
like
7
30 a
days.
week.
That was like 30 applications a week.
Yeah, I remember those goals. Like 10K, you were a god in this business. Now it's like
something
mediocre.
funny. The funny thing is how you got your license. So this is what I remember.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen you in years after high school, maybe 2-3 years.
Yeah.
I started selling insurance, and I had this little bachelor pad. Me and my older brother lived there, and we would always go to this little place called the Marina Lounge, which was like the
I have a rep sheet there.
yeah, the little bar to go to, right?
Yeah.
We would all go there.
We would
And-
bounce between Marina and the Thornies. We'd walk back and forth.
And then one night I didn't go. I was like, I don't feel good. I didn't go. But my brother went. Now my brother had never met you.
That was funny.
And then like I'm sleeping at like 2 a.m. and I hear, I think I'm having a nightmare. I hear you like screaming in my house.
Oh my days.
And then next thing I know, you come barging in my room in the middle of the night and go, hey, I met your brother. I drove him home. And next thing you know, what were you cooking? Pancakes
We
and
were
waffles?
making eggs. I told him I made excellent eggs and he didn't believe me. So I made him some eggs.
And then and then maybe the next day, how did we end up talking about you selling
I
insurance?
think you like hit me up on like Facebook afterwards because I didn't have your numbers. So you had hit me up like, hey, you should come by my office. And I was like, what? So yeah.
That
So
is
that's how we ended up crossing paths again.
Drew, what do you think about that?
About what?
That story.
It's pretty insane.
He just like
Hey.
woke up. I remember him waking up in a minute. He was like, "What the? Like, what's going on? Like, why is Patrice in my dreams?"
That is great. Dude, we've grown up a lot, huh?
I know that. Like thinking back at it, I'm like, "Oh my god, that's so embarrassing, man. Have I matured?"
Yeah, me too.
Like I was so boy crazy all over the place, and now it's just like super mom.
Now you're a mom of
two.
two,
So my daughter's 13 and my son's 8.
and you're a single mom.
Yeah, single mom.
And tell us a little bit about your experience with Family First Life, and tell us the truth.
No, yeah,
How you fell
definitely.
off the wagon, you didn't like it.
Don't make it sound like I was drinking.
Yeah. What happened? Tell us everything.
You know what's funny? Like my son, we were at Stater's last night. I was getting wine. He's like, "Mom, this is your favorite one." I was like, "Put that down." And he was just like, I was like, "You're gonna make people think I'm a drunk." And he's like, "You are." And I was like, "Well, throw it in the basket." But anyways,
You know this is live on Facebook, right?
no way. Are you? Oh my days. We're not gonna cut and edit this and have bloopers that people never watch. Okay, wow. I would like to do commentary over this. No, so when you came to me, I was like, so I'm 31 now. So you came to me when I was like 23, 24. And then I was like, I got my license. It took a while. It took me a month to do the course. And I remember running into you at the bar. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm like double fisting 2 blue moons." And I'm just like, "Hey, man, I'm doing the class still." And you were like, "I don't care." And I was like, "All right." And I like dove off embarrassingly, like just to the corner of the bar. But no, I finally finished my license and I kind of got started. And then it was just like I was full time in college. And my whole thing was like, my dad's like, education's the key to success. So it's just like, it was just so important for me to get my bachelor's degree and to wrap that up. So it was like, doing insurance was not an issue. I really didn't see myself being a top producer here. Like, yeah, selling my family and friends or whatever I know, but just actually doing it, I didn't see myself doing that. So I was just like, you know what? I got promoted in Amazon to a manager there. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get this organized and I'll do this on the weekend. And then, oh my days, I ended up getting fired from Amazon.
For what?
Well, so it's funny. So, I went from a temp to a level 4 manager in a year and a half. So I pissed a lot of people off. I was like a unicorn
Now you
promotion.
had your license,
Yeah.
but you weren't doing anything with it.
No, but I kept keeping it. Like something was like, you should probably just keep paying for this. Like, I don't know why. Even if I was broke, I literally would not let my license lapse. Like there was something about it that was like, nah, pay it. And I was like, all right. And then I would just feel a sense of relief. Like I knew someday it would come in handy, just like I wasn't ready now. But once I got fired from Amazon, it's actually a funny story. So I was helping an agent, or not an agent, so the only lingo I know now. I was helping an associate prepare for a manager interview that was like 4 hours long, and we were going through my Google Sheets and stuff, and I had I was a public health major, so that was what my degree was in public health education. And so I had a lot of male and female genitalia on a slide, but it was all health related, and we started talking about it. So this girl reported me to HR for talking about, am I allowed to say, I'll just say genitalia at work. And even though she didn't see anything, she felt uncomfortable, so they terminated me for that. Like, that was like my ultimate downfall. I was like, seriously, we sell
Don't tell anyone else that story.
You said tell the truth. Like Amazon sells life-size dolls that you can be your mate, but I can't talk about this stuff. Anyway.
So you got fired.
And then I collected unemployment. I collected my whole
For how
10
long?
Gs, the whole 10 Gs. And I was still like, man. And at this time, I was still living at my mom's house. Like me and my kids were sharing the master bedroom at my mom's house. Like, dude, it was getting
And
embarrassing.
this was how long ago?
3 years ago. So we're talking the bottom of 2017. So I was still living at my mom's house, and I was like, man, I put 2 full-size beds in the room, and I hid all my stuff in the closet because they were getting older, and I was just sitting on my bed. I was like, dude, God, that's how I talk to God. Like, he's my homie. I was like, dude, I'm not happy. I was like, this ain't where I'm supposed to be. And he's like, all right. So I ended up getting into a massive, argument with my family. I ended up moving out, had $3,000 to my name because my dad died in 2015, and we had a small life insurance policy that me and my sisters divvied up. So I had $3,000 of the $10,000 left. And then I reached out to some friends. I was like, look.
Now you're a single
Yeah.
mom, like no help at all.
No coins from baby daddy. Like, well, we're cool. I don't get any coins from him. Like, it's 100%, all me, everything. So when I had moved out, I found a friend. I was like, look, I have $300 to my name, or $3,000. I can pay $300 a month. I just need like 3 months to figure this out. And honestly, I was blowing smoke because I was just like, how the hell am I going to do this? But I had my life insurance license. And that's when I reached back out to you again. And I was just like, hey, big head. Hey, Andrew.
You always used to call me Cookie. Why'd you do
No,
that?
I was Cookie. Because that was like my nickname because I thought I was such a player in high school.
You always used to say Cookie.
Whenever I used to be like, my name is Patrice, a.k.a. Cookie, not just any cookie, but a chocolate chip cookie. What's up? Oh, my days. I'm surprised you still stay friends with me.
Do you talk to clients like this?
No. Well, I'm like super chill and like definitely bubbly. Like we're definitely having a good time when we're talking, but probably I'm pretty direct with my clients and like we kind of like shoot the shit and I just like tell them what's up and I tell them the truth and they're like, look, I'm going to buy anyway. I'm like,
do they like that?
They do because they like honesty. There's so much bait switching out there when someone just tells them the truth. They're more apt to like open up to you more and start chatting with you and then they really start spilling out. It makes them really tie it down in the home. Like just yesterday, a client I did the same thing with, I wrote her policy back in September and her brother called me from an unknown number, but I just so happened to answer because I'm sick of Marriott hotels calling me. And so I answered and he goes, yeah, this is so-and-so. I'm this person's brother. And she told me to call you. And so we're just like shooting shit. And I wrote a policy in 37 minutes over the phone last night, like $1,600 in premium, like sitting on my couch. And I'm like, I feel like I have that kind of touch with my clients that they're bringing like their like siblings and brothers and stuff. Like, hey, she'll tell you the truth. Like, she's got a lot of companies. She's going to find what works best for you and, give it to you real. Because sometimes people are like, well, I don't want graded. I'm like, honey, you don't have a choice. Like, this is all you're going to get. And like, I'll tell them like, I sold a policy in July where, it was $126 a month for $10,000 each for both husband and wife. And they were just like, oh, it's a little much. We need to think about it. I said, think about what? I was like, y'all are 76. You've had 76 years to think about it. You don't have enough time. You're in the third quarter or you're at the bottom of the third quarter, top of the fourth. I was like, it's over. And then she looks over to her husband, like, he's like, yo, I'm tired of this. Just get it. Her husband died 3 months later after I left. Like, that kind of like put a fire under my butt because I'm just like, dude, like, if I didn't do what I was supposed to do and tell them the truth, she would not be doing well because his income was $1,700, hers was $1,200, and their rent was $800. She was going to be up shit creek without that policy. I mean, she's still not going to be in the best position, but $10,000 tax-free is not a bad way, to start life without your husband. Like, it's not going to be... It's not the best, but still, I'm sure she'd rather have her husband, but I didn't see that coming. But yeah, I'm definitely honest and blunt.
Are you glad you got fired by Amazon?
Oh, absolutely. I did what I accomplished there, nobody ever did. So it like showed me what I was capable of doing with all odds against me. And so even now coming here, all odds are against me,
So when you had $3,000 in your account, what'd you do?
I just started, I bought some old leads, like at some 6-month-old mortgage leads, and I wrote $8,000 that first month. Like, and by the fourth month, moving out of my mom's house, I was able to get my own place for me and my kids. And so I kind of still was doing part-time.
So you got your own place?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
In Apple Valley.
Cool.
Yeah. But now
Are they happy?
Oh, they love it. They have their own room, but my son still sleeps in my bed.
Has he always slept in your bed?
Yeah, he's always slept in my bed. He's 8.
So Atlas is 9 months, and he
so
sleeps in our bed.
Why not?
I know.
But it's just like now that
everyone's like, you can't have your kid sleep in your bed. It's bad. And me and Nicole are like, why?
Dude, I made it so easy. My kids were so chill, and like I got to just breastfeeding is the cheapest thing to do, so that was easier, and I got to sleep good, and we were both chilling, so they didn't complain.
So he's got his own room, but he still likes to sleep with you.
Yeah. Like holds my
How
hand.
happy were they to have their own room?
They were excited. They couldn't wait. Like at the place we were staying at, I literally drove my car 20 times back and forth from there. It was like probably 5 miles away. I drove my car like 20 times, just bringing a little bit of stuff back and forth. Like I was not messing around. I was like, I want out. I need my own place.
Do you and your mom have a better relationship now?
Definitely. I have to live my mom at a distance. Like, sometimes I'm like, Mom, I have to terminate this call. You're tripping right now. I was just like, I'm going to call you back later. She'll call you back. I apologize.
I want to meet your
Because
mom.
like she used to like she did not believe in the insurance business, and that sucks when you don't have supportive family or partners
Talk
or whatever.
about that a little bit. Does she believe now?
Yeah, but she still kind of has a little attitude about it. But she used to be like, business depends on a yes. Everyone like she used to like get in my head. I'm like,
Plant little seeds of
yeah,
doubt.
but she turned the numbers against me where she made me feel like, you know how we do get a lot of no's in this business, but the yeses make up for them all day long where I'm like not even jaded by a no. Like sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Maybe they're in a good spot and I'm like, hey, don't let nobody else through this door unless you want more coverage, then call me. But but that's the name of the game. And those are the things when I started getting around the right people, like reaching out to Sean Mike or Elaine Flinchbob, like just getting around the people who knew what they were doing.
Always believed that you're going to do something.
Yeah, but
big.
I didn't believe. He's like,
but I've noticed he's gone out of his way multiple times to see maybe something in you don't see.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, he's always looked out for me, and I love that about him.
What does he say though to you?
I know, like, he was just telling me, like, he basically in a nice way basically told me, like, stop being a bitch, like, in the best way. But I needed that, and I needed it to come from him because it's like, but he also allowed me to open up.
He didn't actually say that, though, did he?
He says it in so many, he basically says it without saying it, but that's how it comes off to me. But he's very heartfelt with it, and, he'll tell me, like, Patrice, you're playing the loose, like, straight up. Like, I'll tell him, like, he allows me to be open. I'm like, dude, let me be honest and tell you what I'm afraid of so you can tell me stop. And so I would tell him, I'm like, dude, if I spend this money and I don't make it, I'm screwed. Like, I don't have money for next month's bills. Like, and he's like, you got to stop, thinking like that. You're playing to lose. You should be thinking, okay, I got these leads. I need to book this amount of appointments, not thinking about the failure, thinking about the process of what needs to happen and how do I utilize those leads.
And I remember he said something to you about your kids or something. Do you remember that or no?
No, Sean says a lot of things.
He's just like, hey, I don't know.
I mean, like, it's always around the whole, you're doing this for them and I do see it, like, as far as what, it's not so much about having so much money. It's like what it can do. Like my daughter, she's kind of like me, very adventurous, but like my mom kind of wanted to hold us back and keep us right there at home. Whereas I'm just like, dude, go. Like my daughter's learning how to speak Korean. She's into the whole K-pop thing.
We have some Korean leads we can't communicate with.
Send them to my daughter. Like she's learning how to speak Korean and she wants to go there to like open up a dance studio. And so instead of having that conversation where like, oh, that's a cute dream and it's like, okay, how do we make this happen?
That could possibly happen.
That could happen. And I think her seeing me do what I do in this business, it allows her to feel her passions. Like she told me, Mom, instead of me just going there to teach, which was like her little gateway to get in there, she's like, I'm just going to go do it. And I'm just like, dude, heck yeah. Like, let's do it. Let's figure it out. What do we need to do? Build your YouTube channel, start dancing because she loves to dance. Like, I don't know where she got that from because the only rhythm I have is my heartbeat. Like,
how often does she post a video on YouTube?
She's just now starting. I don't know why she's super shy, but she has this big dream, but she's starting to do it and it's super cute. She has her friends do it. And I was like, dude, you totally have the platform. All your friends are on social media, so you'll get the views and everything that you like. So like she motivates me. She changed my Instagram name to Millie Mommy. She's like, Mom, you got to manifest it. So she changed.
How old is she?
She's 13.
That is awesome.
Like she's literally
we should have brought her in here.
I know. We should have next time. She probably would have definitely liked that.
That's cool. So now when Sean said stuff like this to you, did you go whatever or did it make it different? I'm just curious. Did it make an impact on you?
No. I heard what he was saying, but I didn't believe him because I wasn't doing anything to make this business happen. Like I wasn't having a schedule. I wasn't buying leads. I wasn't investing. So when he's telling me something like that, I'm just like, how am I doing it?
Because he would always tell me, he would always go, dude, if Patrice ever gets serious, she could blow the lid off this thing.
Definitely.
If she ever gets serious. He goes, I don't know if she will, but if she does.
No, like I when I went to a meeting in October at, Evelyn's office, Evelyn and Zach, they did the meeting, the conference, and they started talking about what top producers are doing. They're like, oh, they're doing 30 appointments a week and this, that, and the other thing. Like I look back at my schedule, I paid over 30 grand in October and I was doing like 12 to 15 appointments. I was like, I'm literally working at like 20, 30% effort. So I started measuring myself like, Patrice, how much effort are you actually giving yourself? And I was like, all right.
Is it easy to lie to yourself about your effort?
Oh, absolutely. But now that I have it on paper, I can't. Like I have a schedule where I put down, like I have my whole 3 weeks lined up of what I've got going on. And so I can't lie to myself. And that's what pushes me because I see the failure. or not the failure, the learning. I call them learning opportunities when I don't hit my numbers, or I don't dial like I was supposed to, or post like I was supposed to. I can see how it changes from week to week.
Now you're building a business. Do you think there's a lot of people that you can help?
Oh, absolutely. Like there's so many people that reached out to me that I've met over my journeys. Like I had left insurance for about a year and I went to live my best life. And
At Amazon.
no. This is when I left and I was driving Uber and Lyft for a year. Like I was just like, oh yeah, I made $200
How
a
crazy
day.
is
No,
that? How crazy
no
is that
chargebacks.
job?
Like it's wild. Like I had a guy get naked in my front seat. Like I'm not even kidding. He was so drunk. He's telling me he's a pilot and he would give me free tickets.
To what airline?
I don't remember, but I found him on Facebook, liar. I'm still waiting, man. I hope you're watching this video.
Damn. What's his name? No, I'm just kidding. Don't put his name on here.
I'll do it, man. I'll do it. You dare me.
No. Is that a pretty crazy job?
No, it's nuts because you never know
Break
what you're gonna
down the
get.
difference with insurance, what you can make compared to like Uber,
I mean,
and the amount
but
of work
I would have
it
to
takes.
drive. Like I live in Apple Valley, and LA is like 100 miles. So I drove 100 miles every weekend to LA, and I slept in my car because that's where the money was. And I would drive like 18 hours a day.
You slept in your car?
I slept in my car at 24 Hour Fitness, and then I took a shower there. Back in the day, pre-COVID. And so I would take a shower there, and then hop back in my car and do it again for another 12 to 16
drive
hours
Uber.
to drive Uber.
But then you wouldn't put the work ethic into
right?
insurance.
Right. That's exactly. It started to like click to me because I think right around October you hit me back up like, hey, like you gonna come back? And I just kind of was like, nah, I'm doing good in Uber. I'm making $200 a day. No, no chargeback. I don't have to invest.
But you got to
nothing but
take
gas.
care of your own car too,
Exactly, and that started to hit hard because at one point my brakes were going out, and then like the dealership, they wanted like $1,600 just to fix my brakes, and they were.
What kind of car?
I was driving a Fiat at the time, and they wanted $1,600. They wanted my car. They wanted my rent and my car payment to fix my brakes. I'm like, you're out of your mind.
So what'd you do? Fly down the highway with no...
Luckily, I know I have friends and family that know how to work on cars, so they were just like, take your car down and come over. But still, I realized that like, hey, this is not enough. Like, I can't even take care of like.
How much money did you have to take care of your family?
I don't probably like I was doing $4,000 a month doing Uber and Lyft, but I was driving. But my rent's like $1,000, car payment's like $400. So, and then gas every week. So I was lying to myself. Like, I was just buying time the entire time that I was working. So probably zero, if I'm being honest, and maybe even negative. It's just like I was just moving forward, you know what I mean? Day to day.
When you slept in your car, what city was that in?
I tried not to stay in certain parts of LA. I was like, ugh. Wherever. I tried to go to the beach, like Malibu. I'll sleep at Malibu. And
Did you carry a gun?
No, I didn't.
Pepper spray?
No,
Or no one's messing with you.
Nobody's messing with me. Like, I ain't messing around, man. Like, I think I just have that, like, hey.
Drew, would you mess with Patrice?
I've had some weirdo guys where I'm just like, dude, come on, you're so gross. Like, I had this guy legit tap me on my shoulder, like, and he had a cell phone right here. He wanted me to read it.
While you were in your car?
Yeah, and I was like, dude,
Wait,
I'm driving.
wait.
Well, I'm driving Uber. Yeah, he's in the back seat. He sat right behind me. It was so awkward. And I was just like, dude. And I was like,
what'd you do to him?
Where is
this
guy? He kept
guy?
tapping my shoulder, and he was just, and I'm like, oh crap, he's probably deaf. And like,
Did you hurt him?
no, I turn around, right, and I look on the phone. It just said, he said, cash for sex, and I was just like, no, bro.
And then
I kicked his ass out in one stardom, man. Like, I really gave it to him. No, dude, it was. Yeah, you get weirdos out there.
And then did you start thinking about selling insurance?
Yeah, it wasn't until like
Now, how much can you make on one sale?
Honestly, I think my average is anywhere from $1,600 to $2,500. Like after I talked to Elaine, man, like I make sure I went to the right people. Anyone that's doing something, I'm like, yo, I need to incorporate that. I'm ready for that. And she's like, oh, I just show them how much they qualify for. And I'm like, that's your big secret? I was like, okay. And then so like this guy I had booked an appointment with, he wouldn't let me over unless I told him the quote. And I was like, all right, I am about to mess up my coins because he wanted to know a quote. So I was like, look, it's $205 a month for $25,000. He's like, all right, come over. And I'm like, sweet, I'm going to make $2,400. But then I had talked to Elaine and I went to his house. And I sat with him. I was like, hey, man, I know I told you on the phone, 25 grand, 205. He's like, I was like, but you qualify for 40 grand and that's 323 a month. And he was just like, give me that one. Like in my head, I was like,
How much money is that? Just to give me an idea.
That was like $3,500, and I got paid $3,000 2 days later. Like just that one tip and applying it, that whole week I wrote 15 grand. Like just taking
genius.
like talking to Elaine and talking to Sean. Like he's like,
Did you
buy more leads.
Why
And I was
didn't
like,
you
okay.
say we can give you another policy for 40 grand for another 323
Well,
a month?
I was gonna.
What's that? Call that guy back.
Sometimes I don't know if I'm being greedy because I did that. Like this one guy, like I was listening to Matt Smith yesterday on his call and how he talked about I don't know why people don't leave voicemails. Voicemails made me coins last year, a little over 15 grand. Like there was one guy that called me back a month later. He sold his house and his wife and them took the.
I like that, making coins.
Me coins, got to collect me coins. So, and so he called me a month later. He's like, they bought an RV and they traveled to go see their kids. And we won't be home to March or whatever. And I was like, my head was like, dude, sell it now or it's over. I was like, all right, we can handle it right now. Like 31 minutes later, the policy $305 a month. And he's just like, I want the most my wife can qualify for. I literally sold him critical time period over the phone. I was like, look, man, the most you qualify is for 40 grand. I'll cover the mortgage for 5,000 or for 5 years. What do you think? And he's like, I want the most I can get for my wife. I was like, well, damn, you want prosperity too in America? We can stack some more, but I didn't want to be greedy. I was just like, Patrice, calm down.
Hey,
this is how people lose
it's
in
not
poker.
Greedy.
You know, I don't know.
They might want more.
Again, I could be cheating myself because it's like, hey,
cheating them.
Hey, you qualify for 100,000. We got to go to 3 different places, but we can get it.
You should have done it, dude. I had this appointment that I've told you. I called a lady. She goes, someone already came over. I don't qualify because I had a heart attack like 3 years ago. And she goes, what makes you different than anyone else? And I was just like having fun. I go, well, I have blue eyes. This was in the middle of LA. She goes, oh, come on over then. And I go over and I show her 25 with Americo, 25 with Foresters, 25 with Mutual of Omaha, 25 with Colombian. It ended up being like $1,300 a month per month.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, I got paid, and she's still on the books.
That's insane. I'm probably missing out.
And the other
some coins.
person, like, showed her, said she couldn't get more than 25, so she didn't want it.
Probably because they don't have as many as carriers as we. They got one product.
I don't know, or they just were thinking, I would never spend that much.
That too. Like I had this one guy I called and he's like, I'm just not going to waste your time. He's just like, I can't qualify. I'm like, who told you that? I was like, I didn't tell you that. And he's like, well, I was like, what's wrong with you? He's like, I had stomach surgery. I was like, what? You have bone transplant, organ removed, what? He's like, oh, I had gastric bypass surgery. I was like, sir, I can cover you. I was like, look, I'm going to be in town tomorrow.
Cover you.
I was like, I'm going to be there tomorrow. Will Wednesday at 10 work? And he's like, sure. Went over there, $247 a month in premium. Like while these other companies are selling their one product that's the best in the world, and if you can't get it, you don't get insurance. That doesn't make sense. It's not my job to tell clients what they can and cannot get. If they like, insurance is insurance at the end of the day. If you pay and you die, it'll pay. Like simple as that. So that whoever those people were, they missed out on $3,000 in helping a family. So I got to help him make sure his little boo thing got like $50,000 just in case the family acts stink when he dies. So I kind of I lay it down like that too. I'm
His
like,
little boo thing? Is that his
yeah.
wife?
So his wife passed, and then he married another woman out of the country.
Was she younger?
Yes, but he says the family loves them, and I was like, but you know how family is when it comes to money. Like I'm real. I keep it real with clients, and they go, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, family be acting stanky. They don't know you no more. They don't answer the phone, and like most of that comes from personal experience. Like when my grandpa passed, my grandma thought she had a policy, but what happened was. You know how sometimes bank changes names? When that happened, they went for a payment, but there was no bank account for that split second or whatever happened. And then that policy lapsed and my grandma never knew. So she's like one of 16 and 12 of her siblings are still alive. And like she's reaching out to her sisters and brothers asking for help. And they're just yelling at her, talking about, why didn't you prepare? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? But hey, she just lost her husband in 40 years. She didn't want to hear all that. So it's one of those things I put those experiences on my clients like, yo, even if I'm not specific as to bringing up my family, I'm like, you know how family is. Because I know everybody's family is like that when it comes to money. And they're just like, yeah, you're right. I better do this.
Now, you're hiring people. You're building an agency. You'll help them sell. You'll help them get their license. Yeah. Are you willing to help anybody?
Oh, absolutely. But I tell people straight up, like, I cut the fat real quick. I tell them, I'm like, look, go finish this class and don't call me till you're done. Like, we have nothing to talk about. And like, even when they get on, I tell them, I'm like, look, if you call me for money or business, I'll answer my phone. But if you call me to whine, I'm going to hang up on you. Because we all have stuff that we're dealing with. And I just need you to like recognize it and acknowledge it, but use that as a catalyst to come out of that situation and not stay there. Because, I'm like, I tell them like 3 years ago, I was at my mom's house with my 2 kids sharing a master bedroom. Like, come on. Like, we're all going through stuff.
How can somebody contact you if they want to work with you?
Okay, you can find me on Facebook, Patrice Bobette Thompson, or you can find me on Instagram.
Is that your middle name, Bobette?
Bobette, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm named after my aunt, so I guess I'm a junior, sort of.
That's a pretty cool name.
Yeah, I don't know why I never hung on to it. I could have gave myself like a Bobby nickname in high school. That would have been cool.
I would have called you Bobby.
Like Bobby from America, I'll be like Patrice, I don't know, from FFL. Bobby from FFL. But yeah, no. So you can find me on Facebook. I probably tag Andrew in tons of stuff, so you'll see it. Or find me on Instagram, Millie Mommy. What did my daughter put? Hold on, I gotta check.
How do you spell this?
Millie Mommy. I gotta see what my daughter put. It's all in kid language if my phone comes on.
It's insurance _.
Yeah. Oh, you found me?
Yeah.
Stalker.
That's my job.
That's
He
his
said
job.
that's my job. My phone's like legit dead. I did something to it. But yeah, find me on Insta. Like I keep it real.
What if someone wants to call you? You want to give them
Yeah,
your
they
number?
can ring me. They can call my business number so I know who they are so I can identify them and not answer. Like it's 760-503-7. You know what? That's probably wrong. Just call my cell, 760-682-8824. Text me first so I know you're not Marriott Hotels or a client trying to get a policy. I got to leave the line open for
What
them.
would they text you? Hey, I'm interested in selling insurance. That's the only reason they should contact you.
Exactly. Not for dates or take me out for dinner. I'm taken. Okay.
You are taken.
Yeah, I'm actually getting ready to move to Indiana, so I'll be in Indianapolis. I'm already hiring out there.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I'll be out there in May. I'm excited for the new journey.
And you're moving with what's his name?
Tomas.
Tomas.
Yeah. So funny story about him. Like I know this is totally not insurance related, but I met him doing Uber. So I actually picked him up drunk.
Was he the guy that took his clothes off in the
No,
front
he
seat?
was not the guy. No, but I met him doing Uber, and like he got into my car and like he tricked me, man. He was just like, "Hey, are you hungry?" And I was like, "God damn it, he knows I'm hungry." And so we ended up at In-N-Out, and it's been the longest ride. So now me and the kids are moving with him to Indiana.
That's awesome. What tips would you give somebody how old are you? 30?
31.
I'm
Yeah.
31 too.
Yeah.
If you could go back to like when we were 21 and
Honestly, I wouldn't even go back because I needed that journey. There was so many things I've learned and learned lessons from that I just feel like whatever I like, my whole theme is like the tortoise and the hare. You know, the tortoise wins. Like slow and steady wins the race. Like get through your shit. Like we're all going through stuff. Like identify it, move it around.
now, but what could you tell them about maybe speeding up and skipping some of this stuff? Like
cut off family now. Like any naysayers, like cut them off. Like at the end of the day, they're not paying your bills. They're not doing nothing but giving you.
What about
a bunch
worrying
of
about what other people think? I think I didn't really stop caring about that until I was like 25, 26.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, more recently, it's just not caring what people say. Like, if you see it, and like at the end of the day, if they're not doing that, they're not going to see it. So it's just like make sure you're following the process, and then you'll see the result. If you're getting on the phone and dialing.
Did you ever care what people think? I don't think you did.
Mostly my mom. She just got in my head a lot. So, and then I guess other people just like, oh, I don't know. They just didn't. I think because of the way insurance was, you know, before it was like something like 20 years before you can start seeing fruit of the business. Whereas with FFL, it's like day one. Like I'm watching agents I just hire come out the bag, like just making $3 or $4 or $5 grand, or even doing better than me, which is preferable. So I'm closer to
All
integrity.
right, let's say somebody's 18
Yeah.
and they want to skip all the crap we did, which was go out, waste time, whatever.
Yeah. Pick up the phone and dial. I would say.
Could they go make 10K a week?
Absolutely. Like literally anybody can do this. Like it doesn't matter. As long as they are willing to get on the phone, get on a schedule and just see their clients, then why couldn't you do it? Like what we do is simple. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What tips would you give to an agent that is where you were kind of half in, half out?
I would say don't give up and like, you know, go all in. And then you won't know. You can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door because it's not going to work because whatever you're not doing is going to affect your business. So if you're not protecting your dial time or, you know, booking the set number appointments that you need, then you're not going to see the result. Like even if you're part-time, like stick to that for 90 days consecutively. Maybe not focus on booking the whole weekend. Like some of my part-timers, I'm like, forget it. You guys don't have enough time to dial. So dial Friday night, all day Saturday morning, and fill up Sunday. And if that works, start backwardsing it. Like I just say, bite what you can chew. Like don't try to overwhelm yourself, but go all in whatever you decide to do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's your goal as an agency?
I want to get integrity. I'm planning on hitting VP in the next 90 days. Like, I mean, we're definitely getting there. I hired 40 people alone just on social media in the last couple of months.
Talk about that. How are you doing
Like,
that?
it's insane. Like, I mean, just I reach out to the people that I did hire. I'm like, hey, what made you, look at me? Some of them have been staring at me for a year or two. And I'm like, you've been watching me that
How many people do
long?
you think are in... Now, some people love their jobs. So
Yeah.
I never like to bash jobs. Like some insurance companies or people in the industry, they go, quit your job. You shouldn't have a job, blah, blah, blah. I like jobs if people
Yeah.
love their job, right? If that's what they want to do. I have no issue with that. But how many people do you think are not happy with their job?
90% of people, because I have so many people reach out, but they don't follow all the way through. I'd be like, okay, I'm here. But I know they want it, but they don't trust it. They'll just hit me like, oh, it seems too good to be true. I'm like, it is if you think like that. It is if you don't start your class,
And it is if you don't like to work.
And they
'cause
see
it does
it.
take hard work.
But they rather, do these. I mean, there's other businesses out there like doing trucking and all this other stuff that's great money making, and I get it, but they're not able to spend time with their family. They're mostly on the road, mostly at work, mostly sitting in traffic. Whereas FFL, like, I would say I'm still not even at 100% in the game. Like I think I'm at 60% effort. I'm slowly getting there to where I'm like becoming more organized and being more honest with myself. And it's just,
What was your biggest month in deposits?
I would say probably this past January, when we just came from, I over 30 grand in deposits, which is insane. I had to keep adding it up. I wasn't sure if I was hitting
you
wrong
buy
buttons.
anything?
And buy anything as far as I bought me a $200 office chair from Costco. So I feel pretty proud of myself.
How nice was that?
It wasn't just to like do it. And I was like, hey, you know what? Go ahead and throw that
Did you
paper
buy
on the cart
anything
too.
else?
Like some like paper, like printing paper. I was like, get that whole box. We want the whole thing.
What about for your kids?
They pretty much already have everything they want. Like, you know what I mean? But I guess we go to Target more often now. We get all of the fun stuff.
Target's
So,
expensive.
It's,
Nicole goes to Target. I'm like, how could you spend that much at Target?
Target's our happy
she does.
place. That is the happiest place on world. So yeah, we went to Target during Christmas. I spent like $250 because they had like Black Santa stuff, and we were super excited so we can have representation.
Do you
in our
love
house.
shopping?
I actually don't. I
hate shopping.
I don't know. I get on a panic mode. I want to go in and go out, but like I just
Yeah, Nicole and like some other people I know, they love shopping. And I'm
I
just
shop
like,
online. I try to be quick and done. I just can't be bothered. I don't like being in
Do
the
you have
store.
any goals of anything you want to buy?
I want, obviously a home. Like that's what we're gearing towards, buying a home and stuff like
Have
that.
your own home.
Yeah, like I guess I'm not really materialistic, but really I just want to grow my agency and help more people because there's like so many people in my position that, they've already reached out to me that are our moms and
Dude, I have a soft
Yeah.
spot for single moms.
Yeah.
Well, I grew
I
up
know,
with a
your
single
mama.
mom.
Yeah.
I'm a big mama's boy.
definitely.
And I love seeing single moms kill
Because
it.
it's awesome. Because like even for me, when I talk to moms too, I'm just like I hire clients. Like like this lady I just wrote. She was a really nice lady. I helped her with an annuity. She had a $92,000 that I just we're in the midst of rolling over right now. And I was looking at her income and I was just like, hey, girlfriend. I was like, look, you got 3 kids. You're a mom just like me. I was like, you can make that in the weekend. And I have her in class. So like I recruit across the table all day long because I just see like these, so many people with so much potential and like, or whatever. I'm like, you can do this if you're doing that. Like, this is simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Showing them deposits and they're just like, yeah, okay.
Do you
in.
show deposits?
Oh, absolutely. I show my deposits just for transparency because, these other companies.
You might be the most transparent person I've ever
I
met.
keep it real. Even when we get flagged, I'm like, look at these haters spamming us because they know we're paying. Like,
What do you mean flagged?
Like, so my URLs will get flagged on Facebook because they'll say it's spam. Like, even regular posts where I say my part-timers are making 7 to 10 grand, I'm like, how is this spam? And I'll call them out. I'm like, you want to see
You call
our
out Facebook?
Yeah, I call up Facebook. I call anyone that's watching. Like, look, you want to see my agent's deposits? We have nothing to hide like y'all do. Like this one dude from, I guess we can't say company's name, but I guess
Don't say companies' names, but what
No, we're
happened?
not. But no, he tried to recruit me. I was like, bro, you can't afford me. I was just like, you're at
Damn.
75% comp, even though you're trying to tell me 85. I know what y'all make. And I was like, so if you hire me, it has to be less than you. And then I have to hire people less than me. So out of respect for them and me, I cannot work for you because all my agents are at 100% comp. I was like,
Or
they're gonna-
higher.
Yeah, or higher. So I was just like, that doesn't make sense. I said, how are you comfortable with letting agents make 50% comp? He's like, well, you don't know nothing about business. Do you expect Jeff Bezos to deliver packages? I was like, bro, we ain't delivering packages. We're helping
Did you tell
families.
him you worked at Amazon?
Yeah. I was
You
like,
did?
this is different. I was like, we're helping families.
Did you say I worked at Amazon?
No, I told him. You can look at my my phone's dead on my, I have it all on my, like, I wanted to like use that as a post and like cover it up, like his name and stuff. Like, look at this idiot, like drinking the Kool-Aid over there. Like, you're broke and stop lying. Stop lying to your age. You guys celebrate and give them cakes when they make one policy for $500.
Cakes?
Like,
Is that what they
Yeah, they
get,
get like a
cakes?
Costco cake and be like, they're like, we have so much morality. I was like, bro, where are the coins though? Like, who cares about your cakes? I was like,
Do you actually get a cake, like a birthday cake?
They do for their teams. Like, they buy them cakes and you're like, yeah, you know, she didn't hit her goal, but she made like $500 this week. And I was like, what? I'm like, dude, making 20 grand at FFL is normal here. And honestly, you're basic if you're making 20 grand here, which is so funny because $5 grand a week. I remember when you hit $5 grand and 10 grand, they're like, oh, Andrew's the god. He's Hercules. Like,
A long
you were-
time ago.
Yeah, you were everything. But like now that's normal. Like, to make 100 grand here, like, you're not working. I did that. And
You're
I was working,
lazy.
I worked every other week and I made money when I needed money. I was doing like 7 to 10 grand, but I still issued over 100. But I was still broke because I was living paycheck to paycheck. And I made sure, like, okay, I've got, you know, a little bit for leads, and then I have my rent money and bill money next month. So that's how I was kind of moving it, and I made 100 grand. So when I see people clearing 100 grand and working their butts off at other companies, I'm like, yo, I know you're broke. Like, you're not making money.
Damn.
I tell them too. I'm like,
Did
y'all
you
broke.
recruit that guy?
No, I'm trying. I'm still trying. I won't give up on you, man. I know you're watching me.
All right. Thank you for coming in.
No, awesome. For
I'm
sure,
looking forward
anytime.
to another, I guess, another few years and you get an integrity
Oh,
deal.
definitely. A couple. I'm shooting for 2. That way, if I do hit the third year, that's fine. I'm not going to be mad.
Let's
But-
do it.